you? Good morning. How are you? All right, we're gonna just grab a different hat here. Oh, the Shimano goes up there, and the Salty crew comes over here. Hello to everybody. Sorry if I missed you. We're just here in New Zealand, out at a mussel farm here. Sorry, I was supposed to go live last night, but I had a few problems. I had a major headache, was one of them, and went to bed early with the intentions of coming back out at about 9 o'clock. But I also went to the Kingdom Hall, but that yeah, so that finished at about 8:40. I just stayed in our spot, which was just over there. Yeah, I had a headache, and at 9 o'clock I had the generator out here from about 7 p.m. charging the batteries and things, and yeah, I was pretty much in bed by 9 o'clock, turned off the Jenny and gave up and said, man, I got a major headache, I can't. And it was just blowing a gale, like, I mean a gale, man. I was blowing a crazy gale that I don't know what happened, but I've got 12 mil rope here with a breaking strain of about 2.5 ton or 3 ton. I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's up there in the tonnage, about 3 ton. It snapped our anchor off, so I got no anchor anymore. Yeah, it snapped the anchor off. I was tied up over there with those boys there, 82 pink, and I was pretty much in the same position as we were when I ended the stream. But yeah, lost the anchor and all the chain, so I'm down to being limited on what I can do. And then last night when it snapped, I still had a major headache, got up and had to sort it out. And what a mission, man. That was a freaking major mission, man. And I'll tell you what I did, and we'll go out the back and I'll tell you. And I nearly got dragged into the water around 3 times, which was really, like, I was in the water, but I managed to not let go of the boat. And I was tired on that, where those boys there are out of the water. We're at a mussel farm here, everyone. We're tied to that side like we were, and then we're tied to on the inside of those buoys, so not on this side, on the other side of those buoys. And then when it got to about 5:30, just before dark, I changed it around so that the back wasn't facing that way, so the back of the boat was not facing, because it was facing that way when I ended the stream, and it was going low tide. So then it turned and the tide started, no, sorry, it was going, yeah, that way, the tide was coming in. And then at about 5:30 last night, I was like, well, I'm not going to do this in the dark. It was quite rough. And so I changed it so the back was facing like we are now, out this way. So we could be ready for fishing. Fishing time, it's fishing time, it's fishing time. for the evening. So I had the front to those buoys there that you can easily see out of the water, and the back to the other side. But somewhere in the night, it snapped that anchor rope, and then it pushed the boat right up against those buoys that you can see out of the water there, the white ones. And it was just grinding the boat, and I was like, oh man, this is the last thing I need, you know. Like I had a major headache, and I thought, well, I need to do something about it. I was just going to leave it. Yola Estate, morning in Yola Estate. And yeah, so I then tried to get the motor. I got the motor, you know, started the motor up, tried to back across to the other side, but there's just no way. Well, I was tied up from the back to the other side, so we were still tied on. So I managed to get, which was lucky we got to, and then, I don't know, we're against these buoys side on anyway. I'm not too sure how much bad scraping we got. A little bit, nothing too serious. And then I changed the ropes around and tied on with this rope, which gave me some more area, but then we were stuck up against like this against the buoys, and I needed to take the boat across to the other side and then tie the back up again, and the boat couldn't go against the wind backwards. There was that much wind that it just would not go backwards against the wind. And then the rope was also tied and going under the boat, and it got caught on the prop 3 times, and well, it might have been 3 or 4 times. Locked the motor up, stalled it, and then it was jammed, and then because it was tight under the boat, I couldn't get it off the top, so I was nearly going to cut it, and then it just, and I had this little like this rope here. When I let it go off the back, because this is what we were secured with on the back, I had to let it go because I couldn't get back over to the other side to untie it because it was just way too rough. So I just let it go from the boat, and I had this little bit of rope. It was about like the same rope, but it was about 1 meter long, or maybe a little bit longer than 1 meter. But one end had a knot in it already, so it was 1 meter with a knot, with a loop in one end. And then so I was trying to, we were tied onto those buoys there at the front because the wind was coming from this direction here, like over there, coming this way. So I wanted the front to be sort of in like that, so I wanted the front tied like that, and then it come back to the back, and we secure at the back. But because the wind was so strong, the boat couldn't push over like that. I don't know, it was crazy anyway. And every time I get close to the buoys that were at the back to try and secure the back, the boat was just going like this, man. It was like past the buoys, like with the wind, like, and I couldn't grab them. And any time I tried to grab them, like, I just got dragged off the boat, you know. And then the boat would go and then take off way over there, you know, like, because it would go straight back to the side. So it was a mission, man. It was a bloody mission. But I ended up getting that little meter rope around the buoy, around the rope of the mussel farm, and then secured onto here. And then it was bedtime. I was completely soaked, and was pretty crazy. So this morning, got up and it was pretty okay, like it's like it is now pretty much. The wind's still up a little bit. It was only supposed to be 16 kilometers last night. It was not 16 kilometers in any way or form. And anyway, I took all the fish in and gave them away. except one of them I kept one for myself, just the little one, and then came back out. And I was gonna, that little 1 meter rope is still over there, secured on one of those lines there, and I was gonna have a look and to see if I was so lucky that the anchor is entwined into the ropes and it's still there. But there was another boat about 2 rows over this way, like towards land, over from me. And when I went in, and when I got back out, I was just coming in, and then they quickly moved into where we were, where I was, and I was like, you freaking idiot! Like, what kind of idiot does that? You know, just to do it on purpose. But I had thought anyway. On my way out, I was going to tie up to one of these singular buoys anyway. But the fact that he did that made me want to go in there, so I did go in there. And then go pretty much right up to them, and then was going to tie up and all that, but I didn't want them to have to watch me. It would have been a mission, man. The wind has changed and it's coming this way, like this at the moment, and that must have been going this way last night actually. Sorry, it was going that way, like that, and then it changed and it was blowing like it is right now, southwesterly. But yeah, so I would have put on a major show for them trying to tie up to both sides. So I decided I was planning on tying up like I am now anyway, just because it means that I don't need to tie up the back, and the wind's coming this way, and the tide's going that way as well. The tide's going out, so technically it's perfect like it is right now. And then later on, hopefully the wind will calm down a little bit, and then we'll go back over there and I'll try and see if the anchor is there. And I want to tie up over there anyway, for the high tide, once the tide starts coming in around just after lunch. So we're here for now. It was a major of a mission. If I should have filmed it, but I didn't want to. It just adds in too much extra drama of possibly losing the camera off the top of my head. I should have just used the GoPro, but I wasn't exactly planning on a major issue like it ended up turning out to be. But I never did any fishing last night. I was gonna stick the line in, and I thought, you know what, I can't even be bothered. My head was pumping, so I didn't even have the line in overnight, and it's quite thankfully I didn't, because that would have ended up around the motor as well. So thanks again for tuning in. We got a soft bait out on this one. Got the motor oil. We've been here for a wee while. I've had a coffee since I've been into shore there. Went right in. Went right into shore there, and gave the fish away to a friend, and then have come back out, tied up here, which was a freaking mission, man. I forgot to bring the hook, and I must, for the 30-day, we're going to be going out for 30 days straight, live streaming 24/7. And that one there, I don't know if I'll take a secondary anchor in the boat just in case the same sort of thing happens. I don't know why the rope snapped. There was no defects in the rope that I'd ever seen. It was only short, and we had the whole chain coming from there back to the boat, so I don't understand how it snapped, but it did. And it's you know, there's a 100-meter rope, but I think on the 30 days when we go out for that, I'll definitely most probably take a backup anchor, because if I don't and it snaps like it just did, then I'm going to be in trouble and the 30 days is going to be over. So I'll most probably take a secondary anchor, a whole bunch more rope. I'm definitely going to be taking way more rope. This rope here had a meter. I had a meter rope, like I was saying, tied up to here to secure the back last night, and that never snapped. So it's just bad luck. It's just bad luck. Sometimes you get a little bit of that, and it's just a little bit to spice up my life. I tell you, man, the wind was coming through, so I was tied up to like that side there at the front, and then I was stuck against that side, so I was trying to get the back of the boat over to this side, and because the wind was so strong, it wouldn't let me go over there, so it was definitely coming from the southwest, and the speed that it was going past that back there, so even when I did make it over there, which I'd have to drive forward, tied on to this side still, and then the rope would go under the boat, and because that rope at the front it doesn't float, it sort of goes under the water, it was coming under the boat and then getting locked around the motor. So but yeah, so that's a better demonstration there. So what I'd do is I'd come forward, try and miss that rope, and then once I was enough forward with slack from the rope that's tied to the front, try and get over to the back. But I tell you what, man, when it was coming around, the boat was coming around, it was pretty hardcore. The speed of the boat going around past that side at the back, which I was trying to grab, I'll show you, it was kind of like, if it was it was like this, it was like, whoa. Like you did not want to reach out and grab the ropes that were right there, because there was no way you were stopping the boat, and you were definitely going in the water. And then the boat was going from the back being right up against those, so I could just reach out off the back here and grab them right there, to being back from that side and back over on this side, right up against those buoys, but over where I said, in the split of about 3 seconds or 4 seconds, you know, whatever it was. That, yeah, it was pretty unexpected, and that's what you always got to be ready for out here on the ocean, in the jungle. Yeah, so I don't know, it's good to be prepared, and I wasn't prepared for that at all. The last thing I thought would be that rope go and snap, and I lose the anchor. So if it had happened, well, I don't know, it doesn't matter, we're safe and alive. So how is everybody today? Nun Yola, everyone. Mason said hi. Yola Mason, Northern Fishing Outdoors. Yola Nun. Grandpa, now that is a true southern accent. Yola. Great southern man. Alright, so Nun, don't get your kick because of the bad knee. That sounds like 2 on 1. It is, man. And on top of all of that, I had a bad knee, which is really bad. So I was struggling, totally struggling with this leg to stay on top of a situation like that. So this morning, I've stuck this on because it's just a little bit too much for it out here at the moment. And then when I went in to give the fish away, there was no way I was risking, you know, yeah, I need to have it on today, so I've got it on. So it was about 5 on 1 last night. Because the thing about it is also as well, is you got to go from here or from down there to the front, you know, and run and try and get up here fast enough. Obviously this door is open. Get out of here, back out through this little window here, you know, get through this little gap, which is at about waist height. Out through here, get on here. This is super slippery out here. Getting onto this today was a major, man. Well, not a major, but it was pretty difficult with the wind, because the wind's just peeling this way, and then to drive the boat up and then get in enough position to be able to sort it out. It's not easy. Again, I was supposed to bring a hook, and the hook would have made the difference, but I forgot to bring the hook, and then with the anchor snapping, I've already talked to Yola Estate this morning. I said, oh baby, are you coming up tonight? And she said, oh, I don't know, is that the good thing? Is that the good, like, you know, when's the best time for me? Oh, tonight's perfect, baby. You should come up tonight. It's so lovely out here. And she's like, yes, I bet it is. I bet it's lovely. And I'm like, yeah, it's so lovely. Are you going to come up? Yeah, I'll come up tonight then. Okay, I need you to bring a couple of things. And she's like, I knew you'd have a big list. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I was like, are you ready? And I knew, I was joking around in my head, and I was just listening to her voice and on the other end of the phone, and I was like, I need you to bring me a few things there. And she's like, yeah, I knew you'd want a bloody list. What is it? And I was like, can you bring 12 meters of chain, 2 D-shackle bolts that will go through the chain links. I need a new anchor. You just hear crickets on the other side of the phone, like complete silence. And then I just stopped talking. And then she's like, well, where do I get those from? And I'm like, I was just joking, baby. I was just joking. But technically, we've got no anchor. Well, we've got no anchor at all, so we can't go anywhere. We're stuck here in the farm until Sunday, or whenever my darling turns up. Sunday's looking like a decent day. So that's how much generator action got done last night. It was 1 hour and 30. So I'll just change that. So I've actually had a little bit of a bath, shower bath today as well. But so it's Friday, the 1st of May, and it's 10:20 a.m. here in New Zealand. So that's what it is. And point of the story is that it looks like it's going to be okay. We're going home on Sunday, so I've got a couple more days out here. That was the plan. Tomorrow looks okay. It says around 10k to 11k winds. It's about saying the exact same at the moment, which is not too bad. It looks flatter than it is, but then any type of movement is a lot different than what you realize, just because of the style of the boat. It just grabs the wind. Like when I went in and took the fish in, I jumped off the boat, and in the split of an eye, I was trying to run after it, you know, because it just takes off. It takes off. If I let go of that rope right now, we'd be gone, man. We would be gone. And most probably go nearly as fast as it goes with the bloody motor. But so we're here till Sunday. I don't know, I might get my darling to pick up some chain. Just that I need it to be the right gauge. And I want 12 meters of it this time, which is going to be longer than the boat. I want the same anchor. And then it means that tomorrow we can go out there. But hey, it doesn't really matter. Tomorrow we can go out there anyway if it's okay. I can go out there today. And we can just drift. So actually we won't need... I don't know, I'll think about it. I've got a couple of anchors at home as well. I might just get her to bring those for this thing, and it'll just slow us down. And then in the evening, we'll come back in here and we'll tie up, and that'll most probably be the plan. So I won't need all that stuff, I don't think. I have got a whole bunch of other chain too at home. So But I need to sort through it. She won't be able to sort through it because she won't know which one I want and all that sort of thing. So anyway, Ava Blue, hi, what a nice view. Thank you very much, Ava Blue. None. So it was an uneventful night. Effing none. Hey, Pink Caddy. Yola, Craig David. I'm walking away. Hello, Craig David. So yeah, it's pretty, I thought we were on just before, hence why I've gone live. And I was, just in case anyone was wondering if I was still alive, especially not you, none, effing bloody none. Just joking, everybody. Flesh Gordon says, Yola. Hello, Flesh Gordon. Henry Brosard, download. Sound like you got a big enough motor for your boat. Doesn't sound like, well, we do, dude. It's big enough. It just wasn't big enough last night. None, William Davis, the Free State of Florida. Cavity Coast Bros. Oh, Carl, hi Leroy Lover, your stories, keep it coming, living the dream. Hello from Cavity Coast Bros. Yola, Carl. William, it's April 30th here right now at 6:20 p.m. I'm in Jackson, Florida. Yola, William Davis. Sir Marful, sick dress. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. You like it, do you? See that action? There for you. It's not a bloody dress, thank you very much. Yola, everybody. Pink Caddy's cracking. Yola Pink. Big hello from my dad again to all you moderators. My dad said you're all awesome. So there you go, including you, none. I think he's lying about you though. Just joking, none. Of course, I'm joking. Hello. So we're down to we got a big bait on this one. So we got a full size yellow mackerel. I may need to bring it in and chuck another sinker on it just because I'm not positive it's on the bottom. And same here, this might need a little bit more weight too. We just got a soft bait on there. One of these. I think I need to chuck on some more weight though. We got some mussels in here. Still dray day. Oh, that's not looking too healthy, is it? He's alive. Oh, he might not be alive, actually. I think that's one's full of mud, actually. That's just one full of mud. All right, need to grab another hand towel here. This is the inside here. I might get so bored today and clean up in here for the arrival Yola Estate. I was going to use this batter last night. I decided I'm going to bed because I had a major headache. We're down to, we've got 2 snapper in here. These are the target fish. That one we caught yesterday. The one under it we caught a day or 2 ago. I'm not totally sure. I had lettuce sandwich last night. That was really yum. That's starting to look like that's on its way to going out the door. I just opened it last night. Running 5 degrees here. So these are the targeted fish that we're sort of targeting here. That guy there, which is a New Zealand snapper, except the big version of him. We're not trying to catch them to eat. We're catching them to catch a big daddy. But then also, I've got no other food other than some cauliflower here and some milk, which is getting low. And this is dinner. That's lunch. that's dinner, so we need a couple more. And then we got a little bit of bread left as well, so we should be good. Pretty good in here. They've got the control room in here. We're running 13.6 volts from the solar panel. We got lighting. I'm out of the, we got lighting for the night fishing. We got some spotties. We got a bar light there. We got a cabin light here. We got another bar light here. And then we got a rod tip light there, so that just shines right on the rod tip. And we got one on this side as well. So we'll be going live tonight unless something really goes wrong like last night and I've got a major headache. I'll just harden up and take a whole bunch more pills. We'll most probably get tied up into one of these rows again. I won't be sitting, I don't think I'll be sitting here like this unless the fishing gets good. And it might not make no difference anyway. We'll see what happens. I need to catch some more. I want to catch some more. And then, yeah, so again, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, share, comment. We're here for another couple of days, including today. It's 3 days. On my channel, I have a video where I go just in on the land there. And I take my drone and take a boat there. And I drone fish off the point there and set up a camp. And drone fish from there and then launch my boat there. It's the video is called the Corner Camp Part 1 and the Corner Camp Part 2, and we come down over here, which is where everybody launches their boat, where that truck is there. There's no ramp there, it's just beach launching. You need a 4-wheel drive, but we came down, nobody does this either, just us. So we come along here towing a boat. You need a 4-wheel drive majorly. Towed a boat all the way around. Sorry. So we towed a boat all the way round, and then it starts heading out towards us now. Round to about there, which is, there's a point there or a corner. And then it goes into a little bay there, and then to another point just right here. So we towed a boat right around to here, set up a camp, set up the drone and the surf caster, and then stayed there. And so check my channel out. The video is called the Corner Camp Part 1 and the Corner Camp Part 2. And then there's a whole bunch of other 4K videos on my channel where you can watch them on TV. Or on your phone, whatever, and it's all child friendly, so there's no swearing and all that sort of thing in there. And yeah, there's some pretty interesting videos, some, I don't know, they're all okay. Have a look if you like. But yes, please like, subscribe. Please like and subscribe, share, comment. All right, so we'll just sit down here and have a little look. Don't forget his peanut butter. Yeah, we need some more of that. We're nearly out. Yola Estate, Paul Leroy, gonna be needing to catch some lunch and dinner. Are you smiling, girlfriend? Yes, she is. Home away from home. Yola, nun. Nun, yeah, it is. Blatant, good luck, cuzzy. I'm at work. Thank you, Blatant. William Davis, that's an awesome setup. Thank you very, very much. None, Yola Estate, hint, supplies are running low. Christopher, stuff. Okay, I get it. I would be too. None, for now the day is young. It is true. Yola Estate, you're out of the dog box now, none. Why was he in the dog box? Effing bloody Lord, you're in the bloody dog box. John Wick, Yola, my brother, how are you, John Wick? Yola brother, what's for breakfast? Well, I had toast. I'm going to be having snapper pretty soon, to be honest. I might have a couple of mussels for a change up. Yeah. How about yourself? John Wick's, the bro, I met him. He's watches the channel. And I met him not too long ago. And he's just an awesome guy. He's ginormous as well, so don't annoy him. Frickin' Yola to John Wick. What are you having for breakfast, bro? And hopefully we're gonna have John Wick come out with me one of these days soon, and do a trip with John Wick in it. So Yola to John Wick, and hopefully we can put on a little bit of a show here. I might even move. Just because of John Wick being in there, and I want to actually, and all of you of course, I wouldn't mind catching something today, and I'm feeling like I want to be over there where that harvest was. The only thing is yeah, so I don't know, we'll see how we go here for a wee while longer, and yes. But I did have a look at the rest of the week. Here's the top of the boat. You can go up here too. I had a look at the rest of next week. We'll see how I'm going and how I'm feeling when I get home. There's a couple of good days. There's a couple of good days till about Wednesday. We're going home Sunday. I may be keen enough to just turn straight back around and come straight back up here. There's going to be around 3 days. I'll be watching that weather to see what it's like. It's not totally mint. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to resist. It's okay, and we're going to go straight across over there to the Coromandel and take a different boat and go and camp out over there for 3 days or so. I'm not positive on that yet. I'll be watching the weather and asking Yola Estate if that's okay. Ha ha ha! You better say yes, girl, or you're gonna get fired off this channel. Yeah, that's bloody right. Nah, just joking, but yeah, that's kind of on my list of plans, of possibilities. It's not a definite yet. And I've also checked Matata. Yeah! Come on, baby. Come to daddy. Oh, yeah. Come to daddy. We may even go in, I think Raglan's a little bit ugly, but may see what John Wick is up to if I don't do that trip. And we'll have a look at Raglan, and we may go out to Raglan with John Wick and see if he's around, and we may go off the rocks. And if we go off the rocks, it's at a place called Ruapuki. And there's been 20 people die there, and you're not really, they're trying to shut it so you cannot go there and go fishing. But we may go there and go fishing. We'll see what the weather's like. And I'm pretty sure Raglan's a little bit screwed up for this coming week. From the last time I checked. But I might I'll check the tide for Raglan anyway. And if we don't go over there, it'll all depend, it is dependent on the weather. It is dependent on a few things. And then if I'm also looking at Matata, but I need to look at the surf and see what the swell report is looking like, because I only looked at the weather and the weather's looking okay. We're going to need to stick a bit more weight on these, I think. Whoops! But otherwise, I might go out to Raglan anyway if I don't do what I've just been saying, and take, I don't know which boat we'll take one of them, and maybe take the net, and we might even take the tent,
and we'll take the net and we'll go and set the net, the mullet net, and try and get a whole bunch of mullet, because I'm dying on me some mullet. I want me some mullet. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of possibilities. I can see at least next week. We go home on Sunday, either we turn around, come straight back up here and go over there. I will be checking the weather tonight for that, and then or we head to Matatā, or we go to Raglan and go out with John Wick, or without John Wick, either of the, whatever works. And then or I go to Raglan and we'll go on the harbour and we'll go up and we'll set the depending on the weather there, set the net and take the tents as well, and we'll do a little bit of fishing, a little bit of netting. We may go floundering as well at night, as long as there's reception. And yeah, so I'm pretty keen to go on a dive as well, so I wouldn't mind getting some kinners for pink Cadillac and some boo-boos and some sea snails. So even if we end up at Ponui, that'll be okay. It just depends on what way the wind's going. Last night it was cold enough in here. I don't know if it was just because I had a headache or what. I had the door shut again last night. I had the door shut here. This was shut. I had the front shut, and I had to put the squab down on the floor again. Just with my sore leg, it's just too much to try and lie up there and prevent myself from rolling off the bed with the leg. So I put it down on the floor again, and it was still pretty uncomfortable. Like my leg was pretty uncomfortable, but I've got 2 sleeping bags in the storage under here. I had one sleeping bag inside the other sleeping bag. It was cold, but hey, we're tough. Well, we're not tough, we think we're tough. So yeah, so we'll take 2 sleeping bags somewhere over here or over there. The only problem is in Matatā is we don't, like, if we're going to have to take the ute, and I don't really enjoy sleeping in the ute. I haven't even slept in it yet, not once, and I can tell when I've put the seats down that it would be the most uncomfortable sleep, and I don't really get into it. I get into the Subaru. The Subaru's mint as to sleep in. The ute is not meant to sleep in, so it sort of affects that trip down there. But I might be able to doctor up something else if I was to go down there. Might. That would be the question, and that just popped into my head, and I might give it a go if I even think that trip's possible, and see if we can make that happen, because I'm definitely not sleeping in the ute. But then in saying that, we may not need to sleep in the ute anyway. We'll just sleep in the boat. I forgot about that. Well, most probably that is definitely an option. And we'll go out and we'll go to my islands. We'll do some fishing. We'll go over to Whale Island and we'll do some fishing around there. There's some tarakihi spots around there that I know of, and we'll do some tarakihi fishing. I do have a power spot as well. And then yeah, so that is on the plan actually. It just all depends on the weather again. So and even I can see at least a day or two next week being used up doing something out here, whether even if we just go straight to my spot and it's a day trip, and then we go and do a trip out at Raglan. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'll see what Yola Estate's got to say. She won't be too impressed, I tell you that. And hey, I've just been out here for a week. I've got things to do at home and money to make and stuff like that. And Yola Estate's got every right to not, you know, for me to, you know, have some kind of balance and some kind of input into our relationship financially and emotionally, or whatever you want. So here you go, baby. This is for you. I love you, darling, so much. Now get your effing bloody butt up here and clean. I mean, I miss you, darling. Anyway, that was for her. So much love, and you know what I mean. But yeah, I do love, and that was a joke. But anyway, Sars Mora special. Ogar reads the news. Tomorrow we're going mushroom picking. There are too many mushrooms in the forest on Monday. The rest is factual. The forest is almost clear. 5 minutes of dead air time. Silence reply. Hello, SPC NZ. Kevin, how do you hold your phone while live? I hold it like this, my friend. And it makes the big difference. I use that. I use this, which clips on, and then you can untangle that, and then it can sort of hold it, and I can have it connected up over here like that, and then pull this out, and then it can be in this position here looking at me, or you can turn it around, move it around, and then also I've got a whole bunch more too. This goes on the rod this way like that, clips onto the rod, and then we can have rod view. So you'll clip in with the phone, you can pivot all sorts of different angles on this as well. We got one of those. There's a whole bunch of stuff I use. Yeah, it's pretty dodgy, man, though. Be careful if you do try it, because you know, this is a expensive phone, and this is the water. But yeah, so Heather Webster, Cameron, Yola, Heather Grayson, hello brother, Yola Grayson, none, mullet makes good live bait. I reckon. We know that I don't get into live baiting though, none. Mullet makes the most beautiful, I wonder if you're going to get whacked over there. The most beautiful dish, and what you do is you just scale it, cut it into steaks, and then cover that with water just over the top of it with some onion. Done. And then let it simmer for 10 minutes. It's the most delicious fish. And it's Matt Watson, who is New Zealand's most famous fishing guy, maybe one of the most, I don't know what he's like around the world. Matt Watson's pretty well known. It's his grandfather's favorite mullet dish, and it's his favorite fish dish as well. Well, it's his favorite fish dish, and it's so bloody tasty. It's unreal, man. I tried it once, and I went and bought a mullet net, and it's up there with my most favorite fish dish, and it's super easy. So I eat it, and I like battered mullet too. It's pretty bloody good, but it also makes excellent bait. John Wick, we locals jumped the fence at Ruapooki. Anyways, brother, laugh. Yeah, straight up, John Wick. There's a fence there, and then there's also a sign saying, warning you of fishing on those rocks, and that 20 people have died. It's in one of my videos on the motocross bike, Zed. We go down there. I actually, in one of the videos, fall off the motorbike on that exact road going down to Ruapooki the night after I buy the motorbike the day before, and that next day I go out to the spot where John Wick's talking about and I'm talking about, and I ride down to that spot, read the sign on the fence, come back up and come off the bike and scrape up all my legs, knees and arms and side the day after I just bought the motorbike. And so check those out on my channel as well, and you'll see it. But it is really warned not to go fishing down there. There has been 20 people die, and you have to be silly. But then I tell you what, I seen a little bit of John Wick was down there the other day, and he slayed it. He slayed it up with the snappers. He slayed it up with the Kawai. And it looks dodgy as. I've fished down there myself many a times. Let's not say many a times. I've fished down there plenty over the years though. And, you know, if you were to be silly and go anywhere near the water on a rough day, you'd be an idiot. You definitely want to be well away from the waterline. If you get tangled or snagged on a rock, you just got to have common sense, man. And you got to know the limits of, well, not know the limits, because you can't know the limits of the ocean. It's very, very dangerous there, man. And even the video that John Wick's got on that I've seen, it looks dangerous as, like, you know. But we're gonna go and give it a go one of these days. Even if we don't go fishing, we'll just take the Z, my motocross bike, which I'm looking to go for a ride on as soon as my legs are okay, and go down there and have a little look anyway. And the walk down, it's quite skinny, and you're on this massive cliff. There's a massive cliff right here, so the walk down's dangerous enough, let alone fishing on the rocks down there. I've actually got some other spots out those ways. I don't know if John Wick knows of them. I'm not totally sure on their names. I just know where they are. One of them is actually going off a massive cliff. I have fished off there before. It's not the drone. It's not my video where I drone fish and lose the drone off a 100-meter cliff. It's another one. And I actually have caught fish off this massive cliff, and then you got to wind the fish up this massive cliff. And we will go there one of these days soon. You have to have really good gear. You have to have really good gear to wind up the fish up the cliff. And of course the warehouse, they've got the good gear, man. When I was doing that, I was using warehouse reels and rods, and I was with a really wealthy guy when we were there, one of the owners of Ebbets in New Zealand, and he was shocked. He said to me, "What kind of gear have you got, man? It's amazing." I said, "It's from the warehouse." He could not believe it. Anyway, it's the truth. But he's the one that actually showed me the spot. But Yola, John Wick. None, Yola Estate, the voice of reason. John Wick, we locals jump the fence. Yola, none, fish on. Bloody Yola Estate, bloody no. Bloody yes, you mean. Bloody yes will be bloody yes with this in a minute. Just a joke. John Wick, Yola brother, just had a coffee for brekkie. Nice to see you're eating fresh snapper. Yola, always eating fresh snapper, generally daily. It's very rarely that I'm not eating snapper. It's all I eat. If you looked in my fridge at home, there's nothing in there at all except fish. And if you look in my fridge here, there's nothing at all. There's more in this fridge here than there is at my house. Normally it's just fish. I don't really eat too much else other than fish. And Yola, Maylia, keep your line tight, my friend. Okay, thank you very much. I'll keep that in mind. This one here has got a soft bait on it. So what it's doing is when it's rocking back and forward like that, the boat, see how it's got dipping forward like, oh, my knees struggling today. It's dipping forward and then thinging back. So what that looks like, so you can understand if you can't see it, the rod's going like this, and it's got a little lure on the bottom there. For any of you that don't know, one like this, similar. It's actually got this one on there though. And what that means is every time the rod goes like that, the fish goes on the bottom or down in the water. If it's not quite on the bottom, it just sort of sinks down a little bit. So it sinks down, and then when the rod goes like that, it lifts up, and that line goes tight, and that fish goes, and that's all it needs to do. So, boom, up, 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 and that fish goes, Caprende. And this one here has got a big bait on it. It doesn't actually matter what this one's really doing. It's just waiting for something to come along, grab it, and take off with it. So we're going to be out here for another couple of days at the very least. There's some fishing guys just there. You can just see them behind that orange buoy. Hey John Wick, if you've I'll have to show you guys one of these days. I have showed you in a couple of the videos. There's a good spot in here, bro, off the rocks. There's a real good spot. Even that point there is really good. Well, let's not go really good. But there's a mean ass spot just in there, bro. There's some rocks. Just where that retaining wall there is. You go to the right here, and you can just see those rocks coming out of the water there, where that Putakawa tree is. There's a little track down there, and you can get out on those rocks at about this time of the tide. You'd get wet, it'll be about waist deep. You've got to walk out through a little channel, but it does get dry. You can get there about an hour and a half or 2 hours after high tide, so the tide going out. And there's a mean spot there. There's mussels in the water as well, and oysters all over the rocks, and that's a real good spot. So if you come back from that you come around this corner here, there's a sharp corner, and you come, then that retaining wall, it's that next big, there's another corner there, there's a little rest area there right behind that tree there. So you park up there and you come down. That's my favorite spot here, well, used to be. You get kingies all along there, you get snapper all along there, and yeah, it's can be really, really good fishing there. We will do a day where we come and do it. But of course, we will bring a boat as well. So when it does get high tide, you can't be out there at high tide. You can't be out there at high tide, but you can be out there. Like I've walked across, there's a little ass channel, and it's been like this deep, holding my stuff up in the air, get out on the rocks, the tide goes out, it gets all thing, you can walk out there at low tide easy. The little channel in between is sand, and you get flounder and all that in there. Yeah, so we must do a rock mission or two. If we do end up here this coming week, which is very likely, I will be going on to the Three Kings again, and we'll jump off the boat and anchor it out, and then frickin' do a little bit of fishing off the rocks there. Yeah. I'll most probably just take this light straight down right here and put it in the boat, so that, oh, here we go, that's the big bait. Go on, chomp him up. We'll just turn that drag down a little bit so I got a little bit easier. Right. We got a big bait on this. We would hope that only a decent fish would grab it. Obviously that can be oh, there we go, there's the bait runner running. We'll let him chomp it up. I've just taken the bait runner off. It's most probably a I'm gonna slam this bloody rod. Obviously just a little baby fish, excuse me. Well, it would be a legal fish, but it's a bigger fish would have come in, chomped that down, and it would be still going, you know, the battle. It wouldn't be mucking around like this. Or he might be still there. Woo, that was a good bite. Oh yes. Nice big bite out of it. Look at that. Boom. That's a decent fish. Bugger. All right. And it was right where the hook is. Let's just fit that back in there like that. Got the hook there. We're away. I think if Yola Estate does come up, I'll get her to bring up some dog food and bring up the burley pot too, just for the last night. I don't think she's coming up tonight. I think she's well, I got to work it out really, because if she comes up, well, I suppose if she came up tomorrow afternoon, it'll be fine. Because otherwise it's going to be low tide in here. I'd be able to go and get her at about 8:30. I could pick her up in the morning. Otherwise it'll be around 5ish in the evening that I can pick her up, unless she comes up tonight. I don't know, I'll have to have a look. Without her having to walk, it gets really, really shallow in here, and I'd have to, I can't anchor the boat either. That's better action. Oh, there's something there. I think we might see if one of the owners of Rollo's Marine wants to come out for a fish. He most probably won't come out though, unless we take his massive boat, you know. But I'll see if I can get him out here on the Hydrolab. We'll most probably take the other Hydrolab with the console though. But I'll try and get him to come out on my one. Or we'll just bring out a nice Senator, hard top. Excuse me, and we'll see what kind of deals we can get out of them. So if you guys or girls go into Rollo's Marine in the next 3 months or something like that, or whatever it is that we get them to say, that you'll get, and you mention my name, like the YouTube dude, you get this massive deal, you know. They're really cool guys anyway, you know. They look after the customer really well, and you know, do as much as they can to help you to get into what you want, you know. But we'll see if I can get him out here, and we'll see if we can corner him up. Well, not corner him up. See, he's a pretty choice. They're pretty choice. 2 brothers. They're really cool. I want to show you guys a quick knot too. That's really handy. I'll show you a quick knot. You may already know them, but I tell you what, they can make the difference. Alright, so you just want, this is a really handy rope. I mean knot. So it's the same knot that I've used for the front here. And it will not come undone unless you go up there and take it undone. And what's cool about it is you can tie it anywhere. So when I pull up to that, I don't need to get right up to the thing. I can just tie it right back at right here if I wanted it to, and it could have just been right here rather than having to pull the boat forward a little bit. I should have actually tied it right back here, but oh well. It's not, it's tied there, but it'll be easy for me just to pull that knot and still untie it from right where I am. I just need to, you know, walk the boat up to it. It's called the bowline knot, and it's world known knot. I'm sure you all know, most of you maybe know it, the bowline. And it's very, very easy. Here's the end of the rope. Say you went around here like this, whatever, and all you need to do, here's one end, the open end, here's the main line with the that goes to the rest of the rope. You just want to grab it, put a little, I always just put the main end that goes to the main line of the rope on top of the one that goes to this end. So there's the one that goes to this end, the tag end, and here's the one that goes to the main line. And I just grab it and I just do a little circle like that, where this main line is now sitting on top of the line that's going to the tag end. It's the best way for me to describe it, so you know what way that circle goes. It just goes like that. And then you just grab the main end and you just put a little half thing in like that. You made that little loop, you just put a little, you grab this main inside and you just put a little, like a U shape through that through that circle you made. So you got the main end over here, you got your tag end, so you go like that, then you just make a little loop, you just go like that, and that little loop, doesn't matter how big it is, sits on top of the line going to the tag end here. And then you grab the main line that's going back to the main lot of rope, and you just put a little U in it like that, out or a loop in it, whatever, and just put that a little bit through that loop. And you come in with the tag end, and it just comes in like that. Just go straight through that loop you made, the second loop, and then you just pinch it back on the line that it's come through on, you know, like this part here comes through that hole, goes back to itself, and then you just pull. There you go, boom. And that is a bowline knot. Like that. And that's never gonna slip. That's never ever gonna slip or come undone, no matter what, unless you take it undone. And they're fairly easy to get undone as well. This is a world renowned knot, the bowline. And that's the very, very easy way of doing it. Boom. Awesome knot. And then if you want to do a flash one, you can do a running bowline, and that goes like this. And that's the same knot, but it's called a running bowline. And now that will slip. It'll cinch down or slip down and then never come undone down there. So it's good for that kind of a thing, except that that's not actually it. But it's like that because that's about to come undone. Same theory. There it is there, and that'll slip. I'm not sure why it's not slipping now. Our cousin, that's not it, that's why. What are you up to? That's it there. Anyway, let's not worry about that. It's not working today, and I'm not fussed, I'm a pro at them. But the running bow's really handy. But that bow line in the middle, the first one is very handy for boating and handy for all sorts of things. That running bow line's really awesome too, especially for tree work, because you can tie it, you can throw a loop around a branch and then come down to the ground, tie the knot on the ground, and then just pull it, and it slips all the way back to the branch, and now you didn't have to climb up there and tie the knot. It's so handy, that running bow line. But for this sort of predicament where you don't want to have to crouch down and reach down when you're ready to go, you can tie it up the line. So you can just pull the line up to where you are, or tie it where you are. And see, if I take that little pin out there, now that line will be right up here. I don't need to go at the front of the boat, and it's so good. But where if you tied the running bow, you would tie it there and it would slide right back to the thing there. I find the running bows easier to undo, like really easy, and so is this actually though. But under real heavy like load, it can be a little bit of a difficult to get undone, but not much. It's pretty good as well. The running the bowline knot. Anyway, Coconut Yola, Coconut Cow, Ninja on the road, Ninja Man, welcome in Dimitri, Yola Ninja, Dimitri, Yola Dimitri, morning everyone from Coconut Cow, Yola, welcome in Alfonso, Yola Alfonso, thank you Ninja Man, none, Mr. Yola, none. Got a fridge in there. We do, my friends. We do. Let's have a little look. She's at 4 degrees at the moment. The baby snapper on top, of course, it's legal. It swallowed the hook. And we've got another one down there. They're pretty cold, man. There's not much in the old fridge at the moment. We gave away 7 or 6 fish today. We went in earlier this morning and met some people down there and gave them some fish that we caught yesterday, which were a lot better size than those ones. But those are good size for eating, perfect size for eating, and especially for one. I could most probably easily eat both of them, but then I would not eat again today. They look, but yeah, I'm not really I'm enjoying this. For me, this is fine, you know. I'm not having to tend to fish, but for you, I would like to. LM 7416, Pretty Ginger. Yola, Townsend Clive said hello. Hello, Townsend. Don't throw it back. This is Clark Harris from Dallas, Texas. Yola, Townsend. Alan or Clark Harris, how are you? Use bait or lure? We've got bait on this one. And we've got a lure on that one. A soft bait lure. Kind of looks like this. It's actually this one here. We've got one of those on there, which is my number one lure that I swear by. These ones are pretty good too though. And Isa Handian, beautiful from Indonesia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Muffle Puff, Foo, good luck today, brother. Yola Muffle. Are you named, if you're still in there, are you named Muffle Puff after the Mallow Puff or something else? Just type something else if you are still in there, if you want to. This is not Kiowa Point, John Wick. This is this little spot here. Put it into Google if you want to, or GPS. That spot in there, right where that ute is where everybody launches the boats. That is called Colonel Adams. If you type in Colonel Adams, it'll most probably come up with that spot there. But that spot I was just showing you is just right there. So it's like about 200 meters away from that Colonel Adams. Well, it's maybe more than 200 meters, but it's not much more. And there's where the Colonel Adams launching is for the mussel farms here. But it's the last if you're coming this way, it's right there. It's the last rest area before you get down to here. There's a little pull off right at that tree, which is right there. It's like a little corner, but you got that retaining wall as well. Anywhere along there, people sort of fish on that rock. Well, I do. Right there, those rocks that you can just see. And then at high tide, they come back in before it's too deep, because those rocks go fully under the water. And then you come across here and there's a little drain right there. You can kind of see it. The boat's moving around. But yeah, there's a little drain right back, just back from that spot, back towards where you launch the boats there. So you'd be out on those rocks there, and then at high tide you just come back. It's only like right there. There's a little drain right there, and people come back there and fish at high tide there. It's quite common to see people down there with surf casters. So you can fish just right there. There's a drain right there coming out, and then your spot is right there, just right there. So yeah. And then there's all other spots all along there. I used to go to my spot there, and then when it was high tide, go just outside that thing there, outside that retaining wall there. And there's quite good fishing along there. There's a sand area where there's no rocks, so you're not going to get snagged up. And then that point right there, where that dead tree is there, you get kingies everywhere there. You get them all along here at the right time of year. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then because Kiowa itself
driving, it's about, that's not it there. Kiowa itself is about from here, or that Colonel Adams is about 10 minutes max, sort of thing. 10 hours, 10 minutes to that Colonel Adams in there. But those snapper that you were getting the other day, there's just one after another. Last time I was there, of that sort of size or bigger, and Kauai and all that. Hey, obviously there's days where there's nothing as well, so it's, it's your risk, but can't guarantee anything. But I used to always go off those rocks and used to always do pretty well. But yeah, and then if you're real keen, you can go over here. There's where that launching is, but you just come over here a little bit, and right there you can see there's a car there. There's a little rest area there, and if you're real keen you can walk out to this point, which is right there, and that's about a 10-minute walk, and then you're right on the point. Right on the point, just in there. It's nearly in casting distance to the mussel farm here. It's not though, like you there's no way you'll ever cast out to the mussel farm, but you get some pretty good fishing in there too. Sometimes the Kauai go right in. There's a little bay just right in by those trees there, and you're right just off that bay right there. You'd be right there, sort of thing, on that point, and that bay's just right there. You get fish all in there, big schools of Kauai and whatever at high tide, whatever low tide. And if you're super keen, other people walk to this next point. I've never actually walked there myself, but it's only another 5 minutes, 3 minutes from that point there. But it's worth it's pretty good. I've got to be honest, I've never ever tied up to these buoys like I'm tied up right now, but it just gives you freedom. You're not in the rows there, which I don't really enjoy being in the rows anymore these days. I'd rather just be out there, but this is fine. Fine for me. Oh, here we go, maybe.
once this tide changes around 1 o'clock, it'll start coming this way, which will be coming in. We may move back over here, and I'm going to try and tie back up to these. Well, it might take a bunch of attempts, I tell you that, but just because there's quite a strong wind, it's definitely not freaking a 10k wind, and get us into position and fish next to where they had that harvest yesterday. And it's no different to right here really, but you might be lucky that a fish is still hanging around, hoping to get some mussels that have fallen off overnight from the boys, because they do. Why they go back there 3 days later is because why if you've watched the channel, I talk about going back after 3 days after the harvest, is because on these boys here, on those ones there, you can sort of see it from here on those lines there on the ropes. There's little clumps of mussels. You can see them there just out of the water that they haven't quite cleaned off properly. And why in 3 days? Generally those are out of the water, and in around 3 or so days they start dropping off because they've dried out in the sun and they're dead. So the biggest snapper come back, and even some of them aren't dead, and come back looking for those ones that have fallen off, and they're big enough generally. I don't know, I'm making this up, totally making this up, but that's my assumption right here, right now. Coming back there, they're big enough that if they haven't opened up fully, to grab them and just smash them and eat them down whole, the mussels, and just crunch them up and eat it. But yeah, they're just looking for the solo clumps, and sometimes you'll get big clumps come off because there's big clumps of mussels that they haven't cleaned off those lines properly. So that's why I sort of think the 3 days. We've got a guy turning up with his boat there, and that person would have maybe taken the day off work going, yes, Friday there'll be harvesters out here harvesting for the weekend, which I've done many a time, thinking yes, they'll be out here because it makes such a difference to your fishing, and there's no harvesters out here at all. And they'll be looking at us going, hey, what's that weird looking boat? That's not a harvester. But they may be looking like they're going to carry on round. Nah, there they go, they're turning round, but they'll be gutted to see that there's no harvesters at all. And it's low tide, so it gets pretty shallow in there, but oh well. Wow, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. John Wick, I use warehouse gear too. My biggest snapper is 27 pound off Royal Pookie. Wow. Wow. So that's bigger than my biggest snapper. And I use Shimano now, but all my hooks and tackle is from the warehouse. And I've been using it for over 20 years. And I will tell you, the reels from the warehouse, I had my last few reels for years, like 20 years. I had my reels from the warehouse, and they were way better greased than any other reel that I've ever seen. And they lasted forever. Like, I had them forever. The only reason that I don't have them anymore is when I started drone fishing. These are alloy or whatever they are. The warehouse ones are like a hard nylon plastic, but they last forever.
and when you take the line out 600 meters or 400 meters on the drone and you wind it back in, it comes in that tight that it just crunches the I'd just taken my warehouse reel I'd had it forever, over 20 years, and was re-greasing it up. They're the best reels out, man, and I say a lot about them for their rods as well. But here we go, John. So I know who it is. It'll be my mate. I should really go and get him. He's a giant too. He's in one of the videos. It's called Setting a Long Line. So they're parked right there where that car is, and he's walked all the way around. I seen him there last night. He would have been watching me having my battle out here because I could see him in there with the spotlight. He's right there. So he's got his net there, and he's walked around and he's set a net. That's Vince. That'll be my mate Vince. That's in the videos, setting a long line, or how to set a long line. He's the man. He is well known around here and has been here longer than I have. Well, I don't know about that actually, but then been here, living here way longer than I have ever lived here. I don't know if he was here, coming here before me or not, but he knows this area like the back of his hand, man. And he used to be out here all the time with me on his own boat, but he's around, obviously set his net, and that'll be why they were out. He was around there last night. And then my point is just right there, so he's just right back from the point there. I've had a lot of dealings with him. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy, and he's very, very good. I should really go in and grab him and bring him out here, and because he'd be like, what? He would not be sitting here like this. He'd be like, oh no, let's go get some bloody, can't you catch fish? And we'd be on a mission. But we're not doing that today because I haven't got the steering set up on this boat, and I just don't really enjoy having other people on my boat. I don't. Especially ones that are going to start trying to moan and, oh, listen here, there's nothing here, let's move. No. I'm not doing that. That's why. Then it will just get ugly because I'll be going, no, you can swim back, bro. And then, you know, it just gets ugly. So, yeah, so, but another. But he is on my videos, how to set a long line or something about a long line in there. He does not like snapper. He thinks that they're a crap fish. He will throw the snapper back. He will give you the snapper for free, or whatever. You know, like not that you sell it, but you know, he'd give it to you, and go, nah, I'm not eating that. That's a crap fish. Which some people will say that about snapper. You know. Not me though. I think they're beautiful to eat. But yeah, he likes trevally, carwai, gurnard, all that sort of thing, not snapper. Yeah, sorry whoever missed out on the mounts. I'm not going to show you again because I don't generally show people anyway. But I've got a harness. John Wick, I use Akuma reels and Akuma rods, but my tackle is always from the warehouse. Yeah, bro, sweet as. Well, I used to use only warehouse reels and rods.
And the only reason that I don't have my reel that would now be over 25 years old is because when I started using my drone and taking it out 600 meters, it just blew the top off the thing from the amount of tension on the reel, because they're nylon or plastic. But I tell you what, when you take them apart, if you take a warehouse reel apart, they've got more grease in there than you'll ever see on any reel that I've ever seen. And I've taken apart many a reel and put them back together. I like to service them myself. And the warehouse ones are the best reels that I've ever seen. I'm not going to say that about these because I haven't had them apart. None of these I've had apart because they've got a 10-year warranty on them, and they need to be they're Shimano, and they need to be serviced at an agent. But in telling you that, I've had many a Shimano reel, I've had many a Kuma reel, and I've always, well, I'll tell you, in my opinion, the warehouse reels ate those, and I know they ate them because I know. But anyway, and those warehouse reels and rods wound up fish off cliffs like that. Maybe not quite like that, but pretty much like that out at Raglan. And good sized fish, no trouble, and lasted forever. And then all my tackle comes from the warehouse, all of it. This tackle box as well, these hooks, that was $7 for 10 hooks, size 7, they last forever. Everything in here is from the warehouse. All their line is excellent line. It's better than the expensive stuff by a mile, in my opinion. And yeah, but anyway, there's no bloody fish here at the moment, and I don't need to tell you that. I wonder if we can zoom in on the bro though. I want to zoom in and see if he's got, I know he's got fish. So he's around there checking his net because the tide's going out. He's most probably netting for mullet. So that's my friend Vince. Sorry everyone. That's my friend Vince there setting his net. But the guy, my bro Vince, and then there's another guy here sitting there with him, and that guy in there makes nets. So if you just go and see him, hey, can you make me a net? And he'll go, how long do you want it? What do you want? And he'll just make you a net. And my bro Vince here, he likes to use long line, and he's supposed to be making me a long line. I just have never gone back, just because you know what I'm like. I'm all over the bloody show. So one day we will get in there and see him and get him to make me a long line. None, yep, Fierce Fort Pierce, SWC, Florida, neighbors, Yola. Oh yeah, that'll be you two, eh? I hope one day to get over to Florida. So I should actually be nice to None, eh? He might whoop my butt. But I love Florida. I really want to get over there one day. It's one of the places I would love to go. And that's because Kelly Slater is from Florida. Malawolf said hi. Yola Malawolf.
None. We're pretty much same place, St. Louis country. Yola. Okeechobee, Florida, dropping in. Yola. SWC. Alexi Camila Andrade said hello. Tangi Moana Rakato. Kia ora, koutou katoa, my bro or sister. None, hit the like button and hit that subscribe as well. We're here for another couple of days. None. Jaws knows better than to mess with Bruce Leroy. Funny, bro. Waiting for Jaws to come up over the back of the boat. We have more luck with some orcas coming in. That rock and stuff, if you've been watching for the last half an hour, my spot in there, I've had the orcas come right up to that rock, and I was out there getting oysters and went out there, and the water was like through the channel was about that deep. So the top of the rock was just out of the water, and I was knee deep in the water getting oysters. And then looked around. Looked around, and there was this massive fin out of the water. It was a side fin, and I was like, because I'd never seen an orca up close, and it was massive, man. And there was 3 orcas, two adult ones and a baby, right in at those rocks, and that was really quite cool. So, we've got a kayaker out here. He's keen. You can see him there. There's a canoe. It's not supposed to get any windier than it is. But then in saying it feels like it's going to get real windy. He's keen. There's some nice gusts coming through there, and then it looks like that other boat that was in there never actually launched. They came out here, saw that there was no harvesters. Screw that, we're not going in. Or they've gone back to where the harvesters are or launch, and have got a key to the gate back there. But they never launched. So there is another boat out here, which is over there, and then there's one right there. They've been out here for a fair while. Starting to get a little bit peckish though, everyone. When I'm out here by myself and I'm not live streaming, I'll just be lying right there with those rods moved, and I'll just be in paradise here, you know, have those baits out like they are, and then when a fish comes along and decides that it wants to grab one, these bells will just go like that, and I'll get up. And if it's pretty much by the time I've come out here, I'll know whether it's a reasonable fish or a big fish, because it'll just take off. If it's a big one, all the bells will just go, or it'll be, and I'll come rushing out here, grab the gear, grab this, quick, and try and make it short, get it on, make sure it's not zoomed in. Yeah, and then grab a rod, you know, and but these days are changing. What's really cool about this boat is last night the water was coming, because we were backed into the waves,
the water was coming right up here. I've never had it come inside the boat yet, but I've had it slamming against this little thing here, slamming against this, and the water just comes up, slams up against that on a really good day. I may have something to eat just quickly. I think I'm gonna have to have cauliflower for now. I really can't be fussed with peeling up anything. So look at my amazing mess here. It's called laziness and headache, or I could have mussels, but I'm not really keen on mussels at the moment, just because the pot that I would use has got oil in it and I'd have to clean it and muck around. So let's have a little bit of cauliflower. So everyone, like, subscribe, share, comment. In the coming future, I'm going out on this boat for 30 days straight, live streaming 24/7. We'll be out here for 30 days, not in this spot. We most probably won't see this spot in the 30 days. We'll be doing over 200 kilometers of travel, seeing all sorts of different sites, doing all sorts of different things. So if you want to stay in the loop for that, like and subscribe, share, comment. Don't be shy to comment. But that's coming up in the real near future. As soon as my leg's a little bit better, but even then. Alright, so we're just going to chuck this in here. And we're also going to be out here for a couple more days, at least today, tomorrow, and the next, and then this next day will be Sunday. So we're out here for about another 2 days, 2.5 days. Tonight we'll be going live. Tomorrow we'll be going live. We're live now, obviously. And there we go. That's that sorted. Lunch, nice and easy, super tasty. Super tasty. All right, so we just grab that again. In that 30 days, I won't be shaving. I like to shave every day. So I'm unshaven. Been here, it's Friday here in New Zealand. Been here since Sunday. So it's coming up on the week. All right. I should really check that gas. So we're just going to use some seawater here. Done. Lunch on its way. Grab a bottle of water here. Come on. I mean, one of these days, it won't be this week unless Yolda Estate brings up an anchor. If you go this way and go down here, there is some diving and we should go and have a look for some kinners. But along here there's actually a white sand beach. That might be it. I don't think you got to go around that point to go to it. You may have to, but there's a big white sand beach along here and we'll go and have a look. There's actually a campground as well. It's a dock one. Yeah, you maybe have to go around that point. I don't know. I've been there a bunch of times. You can actually go fishing from there too. And you get a lot of tourists there. But then I'm pretty sure if you go around that point, that's Orere Point. So it's before Orere Point. It might be just over here and I just can't see it. We'll go and next time we'll go and have a look. But just to keep myself out of trouble, I stay away from there. If you know what I mean. No mermaids allowed, you know. And I'm pretty sure Mustang Campers mows the lawns there as part of his job. And it would be good not to see him too, just to avoid any type of situation, you know. I'm sure it's not around that point. I'm pretty sure it's just over there. When I have a look later, I'm going to Google it and see if it is just over there. The bro set his net for the incoming tide, got all his fish, and now it's just set there on the beach waiting for the tide to come back in.
There it is. Just see it on the sand there. That straight line. That's his net. On the rocks, I mean. Waiting for the tide to go out. It's on its way out at the moment. It should be nearly low tide though. And then it'll start coming in. And obviously you can see the water line there. He's got it set right to the high tide mark there. So it's the 1st of May here in New Zealand, Friday, and we're going into winter here. So it's starting to get cooler at night and during the day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kelly Hinson. Bro, there's another guy that was fishing and he has like one bear right now because I said be right back. And I think he might become as famous as you one day. Oh, that's really nice. Coconut Cow. Hi, Bernard. John Wick, is that Kiowa launching beach in front of the farms? Yeah, bro. None. Yola. Someone said hi. I can't read that name. Sorry. Or is it said hi as the name? Here, fishy. Here, fishy. Okay, so let's just roll back to the bottom. Sure is, Bruce. Yola Ninja. Ramel. Welcome, Yola. Ninja Man, I would not be surprised based on when numbers are higher than a lot of people are USA location. Yola. Bruce Jackson, are you fishing? I am. None. Leroy, you need a pet to keep you company and get you drinks on the boat. Cavity Coaster, Yola Cavity. Welcome in, Yola. It was Ninja Man, good numbers. Yesterday was a great day, had so many people come in. Yeah, it makes a difference in the channel. Yola demo. Ant-Man, hey man, how are you? 100 subs you mean, not 10k. Haha, but yes, he's growing the channel well. Thank you guys and girls. I just remember how many subs he was at yesterday morning. It was 3.5. Is that now it's at 3.6. Thank you. Mermaid Central. I looked up the snapper you catch. I didn't realize they get that big. They look crazy when they get over. Yeah, they're nuts, man. They're a mean fight. I tell you what, those boys out there, you can just see that black boy. When you got a decent fish on here, the water, the rod, the line of the rod will just be touching the water out where that black boy is, which is quite a fair way away, and you think you got a stingray on there, and they can really take off, man, in the shallow stuff here, and they can put up a pretty decent fight. They get nuts, man. The 20 pounders and up to 30 pound, like one like that 27 pound that that John Wick's talking about, that's a massive fish, man. And it will put up a hooer of a fight, and off the rocks, that's ridiculous. I'm pretty jealous. You know, so yeah, no, they get really big. A boat and car, a boat, but yeah.
People say they're no good eating though in that bigger size, and in that 27-pound size I've never had one that big, so I would never know. I've had a 23-pounder, which is the biggest I've ever caught, and that was, I still ate it, and it was good to me. I like the bigger snapper myself just because they're way thicker and juicier, and if you cook them right they are delicious, man. And people say smoke them when they're bigger like that, and I've always, no, I'm not gonna smoke it. But then when I smoked the snapper not too long ago, it was so delicious that if I did get a big one like that, I would smoke some of it. I'd definitely eat some of it too though. I'll most probably make up some raw fish today for a change. Marinated fish sounds pretty good to me, actually. I might even get into making up some marinated mussels again, just for a change. We do have them, so that's most probably on my list of to-dos today, is marinate up some fish, some snapper, and marinate up some mussels. I'll most probably do it in the same bowl. So I'm going to be here for another couple of days and nights, so please like and subscribe, share, comment, and we've got plenty more trips coming up this week that we're about to go into. I'm going to be going on some kind of trip or two. I don't know which one it will be and which, where and what, but I will be going on something. And also either tonight or tomorrow, maybe tonight, we'll see, my darling Lorna or Yola estate is going to be coming out. I'll be going in to grab her from inshore here, and that'll be really nice. I'm going to give her a big kiss and hug when I see her, just because I've missed her so much. Oh, I just seen something so funny in the water doing this little dance. It made me laugh. It was so funny, this little thing down here doing this amazing dance. Anyway, it was so funny, that thing in the water. Anyway, she's going to be turning up, and either tonight or tomorrow, if I'm lucky, that is. But it was freezing out here last night, I've got to be honest, and I tell you what, I'm kind of happy I had a headache, because it was just blowing straight in here, and I would have just been getting blasted by that wind. We got some super hot collie here, right here. Let's give it a go. Wow, so good. I may cook up a little bit of this cauliflower and put that into the marinade as well. Not cook it fully, but just cook it a little bit, and then just blanch it, and then chuck it in that marinade as well. But I am very much looking forward to seeing Yola estate. I can't wait till she gets here, to be honest. But if she's, she's going to do her thing. If she doesn't want to come out, maybe my jokes aren't that funny. That's up to her. She's got things she wants to do, and I want to be here, so I tell you what, this cauliflower cooked in the ocean water there is just amazing.
Getting a good charge here. 14.1. Get that charging up. Perfect. Woo! I'll tell you what, just in that little bit of water I got out of the water there, there's little bits of shell in it, in the odd bit, off the mussels. 3 bits that I've seen now. So what I'm going to do shortly is I'm going to go off, maybe, go off, check the tides, see if I can blow over there and get tied back up in that row. Let the phone charge up a little bit, just because it wasn't fully charged this morning. I didn't even stick it on charge last night. I think that's what I will do. Have a little look at the weather. And then I'll have a little bit of a better idea on what Yola Estate is doing, just if she wants to come up this afternoon or not. It might be better for her to come up tonight than tomorrow, but unless she's going to come up at like late in the afternoon, which would most probably suit her, just because then she doesn't have to get up early and she can have a bit of a sleep in, because we're going to have to get up early on Sunday. On Sunday I will try and get up early and go live early, flick the lights on the boat, because I think the high tide's about 9 o'clock AM, and that's when we want to get the boat out. So I'll get up early and go live, but it all depends on the weather as well, on whether we're going to be able to get the boat out down here. So the tide's going to be changing pretty shortly. I'm going to go off pretty shortly so that we can be fishing that incoming tide, the bottom of it, all the way through till tonight.
I'm gonna see if we can move over there, blow over there with the wind, tic-tac-toe all the way over, and then check the weather. I'm hoping this wind's gonna just calm down a little bit, because it just makes it so hard to do anything. And if it's gonna calm down in an hour or two, I'll wait. You can't really, you know, feel the wind because the front of the boat's, you know, got us sheltered here, but it's actually quite breezy. And we're gonna go over there, and I'm gonna have a mean old little battle. Have a mean little battle getting over there, and a mean little battle getting tied up. So what are we at? 48% on the phone, so we've got a little way. I'm gonna have to get right off the front of the boat, frickin' put the line around the bloody see, when Yola Estate does get here, I've got a hook that will go on there. This rope snapped last night, and we lost the anchor. Yola Ant Man, take it easy, man. Thank you, Capity. So yeah, I'm going to do that, everyone. I'm going to go and check what time the high tide is, or low tide, and then incoming tide, get over there, get tied up, put this phone on charge, so I won't be long. Check the weather. Even if the weather is going to calm down in an hour, I'm not going to believe it. I'm going to go and try and rumble and get tied up over there and get in position for when the tide does change, for us to get some fishing time action going. So I'll see you soon. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. We're going to be here for another couple of days. We'll be back in about an hour or so. Have a good one, and stay safe, stay strong, and behave. It's fishing time, it's fishing time, it's fishing time. Yola, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thank you again to the moderators.